Hey folks, welcome to Market Technical Analysis by InTheMoneyStocks.com, your leader in pure technical analysis, avoiding all that Wall Street hype. Today, Friday, June 11th, 2008. Well, we talked about yesterday being one of the whippiest days we had ever seen in the market since our trading, and we're talking about back 10, 20, 30 years now at InTheMoneyStocks.com. Well, today it hit that at least, if not beat that day today. It was unbelievable with the whipsaws in the intraday level. Those in the chat room know as I'm doing play-by-play with my partner Nick, and we're just constantly calling these whips out in this market. And whenever you think the market's going one way, it's going to reverse the other way, and it's not just a small reversal. You're talking about 10, 20 points on the futures, and that's a huge amount. So one thing I will say about today and yesterday, there is a huge amount of volume in this market, some of the biggest volume we've seen this year, if not the biggest today, doing 3.2 million on the ES futures, and those are the S&P futures, the September '08 contract, and the absolute moves in this market, based on rumors, based on financials, based on oil, continue to amaze and flush the weakest and the strongest of hands. And that's why in the chat, we've been constantly, those in the chat know, we've been kind of saying, listen, this is probably the craziest market we've seen. We're sitting on the sidelines, and I don't think we pulled the trigger once today on a trade in the chat room all day. And that's just safety, folks. You have your money in a money market intraday. Well, you know what? You're making your 1% there, and that's a lot of people out there. There are a lot of traders out there that have got spanked the last couple weeks, and they wish they were getting 1% on their money. I'll tell you that much. So in any case, folks, a wild day. The market was down quite a bit early, roared back early in the mid-afternoon hours, and then after going positive, it fell back down a little bit and basically took out yesterday's gains. And that's the unique thing about today. Remember we had talked about the lows from our turn date period that have to hold if our turn date's going to be intact? Well, early in the day they did not hold, but by the end of the day we recaptured those lows and the turn date still remains intact. And that's what we have to focus on today, guys, because this is everything. And I'm going to show you the intraday charts here, and we're going to get out my trend analysis tool here, and we're going to go over the basic intraday patterns. Now, what did we see today? First of all, you had this morning early on, you had Freddie and Fannie Mae getting hammered. Freddie Mac, Fannie Mae, and today was an ugly day for them early. And I want to show you these charts because let me just tell you, if you had bought 1,000 shares of each of these plays at the opening bell today and just turned off the internet and walked away, you would be a very happy camper today. And let me show you these charts. Now, once you have to imagine, I'm going to try and give you play-by-play of this market. Now, early on in the day, folks, you had Freddie Mac and Fannie Mae getting slammed, and we're talking about 40 to 50+% losses on these, all right? And there was rumors out there that the government was going to take them over, all right, because they just were becoming that insolvent, they couldn't handle what was going on, and that was killing the stock price because when they get taken over, they're obviously the shareholder value is gone, and that would be a very big negative. And so let's check out FNM, number one. So look at this here, guys. You're talking about yesterday. This stock was down huge yesterday, and it still closed at $13 and change. Now it opened today down below $8. So you're talking about an open at $7.16 today after closing yesterday at $13.20. So over about a $5 differential, excuse me, a $6 differential from here to here at the opening. But all day it chugged back up. In fact, getting up as high as $11 from $7 on the open. That's a $4 increase on a $7 stock, over 50% gain if you had just picked it up. Now, I'm by no means advocating, nor did I actually pick that up. I mean, you're talking about the absolute height of the crisis right now, folks. And this is why we also believe the market is forming a bottom here, and our turn dates are indicating that as well, just because there's that much craziness. When you see a FNM, a Fannie Mae, or Freddie Mac dropping 50% in one day, that's insane, and that's when you know that you're getting close. It doesn't mean you're there necessarily, but that's when you're getting close, and we're still standing by our turn date until those lows get taken out. So let's look at Freddie Mac, FRE here, and this was even more insane because yesterday it closed at $8, and here it opened at $4.26 and dipped as low as $3.89. If you had bought this, it went all the way positive. Look at this, guys. All the way positive from the close. So So you're talking about a $4 gain on a $4 stock at the open. 100% return on your money, just tucking away, let's say, 1,000 shares. You just say, sure, I'll throw 1,000 shares at it, and look at that gain. Now, granted, it pulled back and closed down 25 cents, and it is trading even a little lower now. And this may go back to $4 in all fairness, folks. By no way am I advocating long or short on these plays. You just can't do it. This market's insane right now. The ups and down moves are whipsawing people left and right, and the best position is cash. I mean, at this point, taking a small shot on the long side on maybe an ETF for the market or an index, okay, well, I could see that. But any of these financial institutions out there could go under any day, and that's why they're getting killed. Lehman was another one that took the market down early. It closed down 287, but was close to down as much as $4 today. And we're talking about Lehman, which was $17 at the close yesterday, being down as low as $13 today. And these are massive institutions. So if you could imagine the blood out on the street in the financials right now, I mean, this is about as bloody as you can imagine. All right, now take that all into account. Let's go back to the futures chart, because you can see the drop on the futures all day long till about 1:30. They're just getting nailed back and forth. You had one minor bounce in here, and then you just sold off again. And what happened here was a little drop in oil. Oil was up about $2 to $3 today, give or take, around that $3 mark. And everyone's focusing, and again, we've always talked about our three keys to this market. You got the dollar, which was down a little bit today. You got the USO or oil, which was up about $3 on the day, and then you have the financials, which got killed early and came back strong late in the day. So focusing on those, the market was literally getting slammed. You saw the Dow down 260 today at the lows. The NASDAQ was down 50 points at the lows. And all of a sudden, you start to get a bid in the market. And there seemed to be a little bit of a rumor slipping out right here. And then you got to pull back. And then all of a sudden, the rumor hit the market, the overall market. And the rumor was that Freddie and Fannie Mae were going to have the ability to go into the discount window by the Fed. Bernanke, the rumor was. And again, this was a rumor unsubstantiated. And the markets took off with a vengeance. And this, I mean, you're talking about a move where the NASDAQ at the lows was down 50, and here it was up 5 to 7 points. That's the type of reversal you saw in literally an hour's time or so. Unbelievable, action-packed. And when you saw the markets take off to the upside, the key in the chat room, and we're discussing this, and I do encourage everyone to join because you learn just so much. Even if you can only be in for a couple hours a day, you just pick up so much knowledge by our analysis and asking questions and so forth. But here you're saying, okay, well, you know the markets are going to retrace down. The key is, are we going to close above the key levels in the market that we had to close above in the previous videos as stated? And those were the lows from our turn date. And I'm going to show you those very shortly here, because we were down here, we were blowing through those ugly, all right? It was ugly. We went through those ugly. But here you got above them, you got the market to go positive. Then on the retrace, you tested them again, and this was the level of the test. And I'll show you that on the daily chart, and then you were able to close back above them. So on the SPY, you closed above it, and on the futures, you closed above it. On the XLF, were the key levels on the XLF, it was down 48 cents today, but this would have been breaking a breakdown here. You closed above it because you closed up here. And overall, still an ugly day in the market, guys, and the markets are still struggling, and it still looks like as if a lot of people are doubting that we are making a bottom there, and that's the way we like it. You guys know us. We'll go out on a limb, we take a shot, and that's why we believe that you guys watch us, because we do take shots instead of taking the easy way out, and we'll continue to do so for you all, all right? But one thing I do want to show you, and I want to go to the SPY here, all right? Now, the key on our turn date, all right, these are the basic days right in here, 1, 2, 3, and the key is you didn't want to take out the low from this day at the close, and sure enough, look at where we ended, right on or above that low, and that's going to have to be the key of this market. You don't want to see a breakdown below that on the SPY, all right? So keep watch of that on this unbelievably active day. We closed right on there. They saved this market, and we'll have to keep our watch on this. Now, if this closes on Monday, now let's going ahead. If we close down here on Monday on the next candle, let's say right down here or anywhere in this range, anywhere from here and here on down, then what you're going to look for the following day is a confirmation. You get confirmation of that and we'll go lower. All right, but as of now, you're still holding that support, and we still believe that this section is a bottom channel being made, and you have to go out and test that top. Even if you fluctuate below intraday, which we did today, it's all about where do you close on the daily, okay? And again, we're still trying to hold those key supports on the XLF going back to 2002, 2003, which were held today because it was able to recapture that 1850 mark on the XLF. Also on the futures, you can see it on the futures too. All right, here's the low from the big rally day, and look at, we'll draw that line right across, and you can see the futures did close above that low. And again, these were the three turn date days that we have in this market. This channel, from the lows, you don't want to break that low on a daily, and that means you have to close below. We wicked down there, meaning it was much lower there, but as long as you close above, that's fine. Now, the keys of this market are oil, obviously, and you had oil gapping up today, right at the double top area here, all right? You still have it there, and it sold off intraday to close kind of in the middle range. It did close off the highs after gapping up, but it was able to close lower. It was up near 147, a new all-time high, but it did not close at an all-time high today, and that's what you want to pay attention to. All right. Now, anything can happen. You guys know we still believe the oil is coming down, even though there are a lot of people that disagree and think that it may go higher, into the 175 to 200 range. It's supply and demand is going to take over eventually. And I know everyone says, well, China and India, but let's be honest, they've just raised the prices over there. The subsidies are gone. You also have the U.S. slowing massively, and there is production. When you can get $150 a barrel in oil, a lot of people are going to be going out there and trying to find oil. I even hear people in Jersey and in Pennsylvania trying to find oil in their backyard. So go figure. Anyways, have a wonderful day, guys. This is going to be a wild trading market next week. Options X. Take care. Be safe. Take care.